So yesterday, in opening my mail, I received a piece of mail from Chase Bank Card Services, or Chase Card. I do, since I do have Chase bank accounts, I do have Chase credit cards. I opened the mail, not noticing that it was to my address, but addressed to somebody else. So it was addressed to me in error. I'm going to share with you, without divulging the details, this piece of mail contained from this Chase credit card department, and it will most likely shock all of you guys. I'm going to share it with you in a few minutes. I want to preface that by talking about a story I saw out of Fox News the other day about credit card debt consumers are carrying in this country. Just initially, though, stock markets got either a dead cat bounce today, or maybe you call it a bear market rally. You guys leave your thoughts and comments below, but the Dow Jones closed up 1,000 points today, got back some more it lost over the last couple trading sessions. The Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all finished up about 2.5%. The 10-year yield was basically flat from what I saw. The dollar gained a little bit of strength today, the U.S. dollar. I think it poked back up into the 99 handle. So again, markets got a little bit of reprieve from the massive selling pressure. There was something that Scott Bessent came out earlier today and indicated that he thought that the dissension between China and the United States and the trade issues would be short-lived. But then that was refuted in what I saw a Zero Hedge article later in the day. But in any event, stock markets took something positive out of maybe the no news and rallied. Gold sold off a bit today, not unexpectedly, sold off about $50 an ounce, I believe. Silver sold off just a little bit. But as we've talked about, gold has been on a parabolic rise for seems like weeks and weeks now. It was due for a bit of a pullback. Let's see what happens tomorrow, and if the selling resumes in the markets and the buying resumes in gold. There's also a lot of buying in Bitcoin today. If you guys caught that, Bitcoin got about a 5% bump. And last I saw, it was sitting about $92,000. Remember, just a few weeks ago, Bitcoin was in the $78,000 range. So keep a watch on that. When it starts to move, when you start to get liquidity pushing into those cryptocurrencies, at least the main ones, it can happen very, very fast. So a story I saw out of Fox News from a few days ago, I pulled up because it relates to what I'm going to share with you in this piece of mail I inadvertently received yesterday. It says nearly half of Americans are carrying credit card debt, according to a recent Bankrate survey. And with interest rates averaging more than 20%, industry analysts warn carrying a balance is a slippery slope. And again, I'll editorialize and I'll share with you, this article gets into it. A lot of people don't have a choice. They have to carry a balance because they need to use their credit cards for emergencies. According to the New York Fed, Americans hold a collective $1.2 trillion in credit card debt. Of those debt holders, 64% say they've delayed or avoided other big financial decisions because of their credit card balances. Nearly half of credit card holders say the main reason they carry a balance is because of an emergency or unexpected expense, according to the survey. Of those, 15% said it was due to emergency medical bills, 9% said it was for car repairs, 7% for unexpected home repairs, and 16% for another type of emergency or unexpected expense. The survey found 28% of people hold a credit card balance to cover day-to-day expenses like groceries, child care, and utilities. And again, with everything going up, things that we need to survive day to day, and with people's disposable income not keeping pace with rising inflation, a lot of people, like this is saying, are having to resort to use their credit cards to buy food, to support, to basically make sure their families can survive and eat and be clothed and have transportation and have medical care and all those things. Okay, only 11% said they carry a balance for retail purchases like clothes or electronics, while 9% said they carry a balance for vacation or entertainment expenses. More than half, 53% of those surveyed said they've carried a balance for at least a year. and that's down from 60% in June of 2024. 38% of people said they've been in debt for less than a year. And again, we're talking about average credit card rates of over 20% on these balances now. This is credit card defaults are on the rise for Americans, reaching the highest level in 14 years in January. And U.S. credit card defaults jumped to a record $46 billion from January through September of 2024. That's according to Bank Reg data. With high levels of credit card debt and high inflation, many consumers have found themselves unable to cover monthly payments, leading some to default. Okay, so now let me share with you what I received yesterday in the mail. And it's from Chase Bank. It's addressed to an individual who is not me, but it was to my office address. It was addressed in error. And it says, it's from Chase Card Member Services. And it gives the last four of this person's card number. It says what the unpaid balance is. And I will tell you that the unpaid balance is almost $25,000. And it says action is needed, dear so-and-so. This is what is happening. It's not being publicized by the banks, by the credit card companies. They want to keep rolling out cards to all of the unsuspecting people at 20-25%. But here's what's happening, is people are getting in over their heads, okay? Either by choice or not by choice, but it's still the same end result. It says, we want to offer you an opportunity to pay less than the unpaid balance. And what it is saying is if you pay, and they're offering just over $5,000 and change on this account balance, and the balance, like I told you, is almost $25,000, we will reduce your unpaid balance to zero. If we're currently reporting to the credit card reporting agencies, we will notify them that the account has been paid for less than the full balance. If you can't make the payments within these timeframes, please call us to discuss other options. So this is Chase Card. Chase is not known for being a bottom tier card issuer, okay? And here they are offering someone who owes them almost $25,000 basically an offer to have their balance reduced to just over $5,000 if they can pay that. So basically taking over $20,000 or so, about $20,000, and basically erasing it. It says, here are the payment options. Please choose one. It gives three options. Make a one-time payment of X, and that's, like I said, just a little bit more than $5,000. Make two equal payments of just under $3,000, or make equal monthly payments of an amount just under $2,000, all totaling the amount that they offered as a lump sum. It says this agreement is not complete until finalized by us in our system. And of course, then it's got a bunch of disclosures and law pursuant to different states. So you have, and look at, if Chase is doing this, they're all doing it, right? All the credit card companies are basically taking haircuts on these accounts where people have gotten over their heads and have defaulted in their payments. I will tell you this, it's not legal advice, not financial advice. If you are in this situation, do your homework. Talk to an accountant or a CPA or a tax professional, because I believe there is some risk when you accept a reduction in your debt that the credit card issuer, I don't know if they're legally required to do this or if it's optional on their part. I don't know, but they will issue a 1099 called 1099 for forgiveness of debt. And what happens, they turn that into the IRS, and let's say they forgive $20,000 of debt. That is deemed ordinary income to the taxpayer. And what you've just done then is you've allowed a $20,000 credit card debt, which is otherwise an unsecured obligation, and now you've allowed it to be converted into a potential taxable liability, okay? So a an income tax obligation. Again, guys, do your own homework on that. Speak to your own professionals, but be very, very, very careful before you quickly jump into something like this. But the reason why I want to share it with you is because my jaw dropped. Not so much about what the balance is. I think a lot of people probably have $25,000 credit card balances. I'm not one of them, but I know a lot of people, do in this country. It's just the way it is, right? It's a debt-based system. But for a Chase Bank to be offering that kind of a write-down, and this is pre-litigation. I mean, I remember years ago in the olden days, they would get a lawyer and sue. The credit card companies would sue for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And here you have them basically saying, we'll reduce your debt by almost $20,000 if you just agree to pay it, either one payment, lump sum, two payments, okay, over 60 days, or make equal monthly payments, over, I think it's 5 payments, okay? So they're offering either a 1 payment, 2 payment, or 5 payment, all totaling the same amount, which means there's evidently no interest being attached to it. They are just trying to get out from under these accounts and close them out, okay? So that's what's going on. No matter what the mainstream will say relative to, the consumers are okay and they're resilient. This is a situation where this consumer evidently is not very resilient, and it's a very sad situation. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments. I'll leave it there today. Thank you guys for watching the videos, sharing these videos, giving it a like for me, and also please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.